Hello and welcome to Kim Reads, Chapter 25. Luke lay awake for the rest of the night. First, he got up and quickly scrubbed away the mud Jen had tracked in and up the stairs. Trust her not to think about mud. He fervently hoped she thought of all the details about the rally. Luke was just finishing the last of the kitchen floor when he heard toilet flushing upstairs. He hid the muddy rags in the trash and scrambled back to the place on the stairs just in time to meet Mother coming down. "Morning, early bird," she yawned. "Were you up during the night? I thought I heard something." "I had trouble sleeping," Luke said truthfully. Mother yawned again. "And you're up early. Feeling okay?" "Just hungry," Luke said, but he picked at his food. Everything he ate stuck to his throat. After the rest of the family left, he risked everything sneaking over and turning on the radio on low. There were weather reports and commercials for soybean seed and lots of music. Come on," he said, keeping one eye on the side window watching for Dad. Finally, the radio voice announced the news. Someone's cattle had gotten out and caused a minor car wreck. Nobody hurt. A government spokesman predicted a poor planting season because of all the rain. Nothing about the rally. Dad came back toward the house. Luke snapped off the radio and bolted for the stairs. At lunch, Dad forgot to turn the radio on and Luke had to remind him. The announcer promised a big story after the commercials. His sandwich gone, Dad reached over to turn the radio off. "No, wait," Luke said. "That might be interesting." Dad harrumphed, but waited. The announcer came back. He cleared his throat and declared the new government statistics proved that last year's alfalfa harvest had set a new record for the decade. It was like that for days. Luke kept waiting, desperate to hear anything, but the few times he could get to the radio, it said nothing. Every time Dad left the house for any length of time, Luke switched on the light by the back door, his old signal to Jen. He stared so hard, willing her answering light to go on, and he thought he would go blind, but there was nothing. He took to watching her house as obsessively as when he first discovered her existence. There was no sign of her. The rest of her family came and went as usual. Did they look sadder, happy, worried, at peace? From a distance he couldn't tell. He got so desperate, he asked Mother if she thought about going over to visit the new neighbors, to welcome them to the area. She looked at him as if they were deranged. "They've been here for months. They're hardly new anymore, and they're barrens," she said. She laughed in a way that didn't hide her bitterness. "Believe me, they don't want us visiting." And what was she supposed to say? "Nice to meet you, now tell me everything about the child you never talked about?" After a week, Luke did feel deranged. Every time someone spoke to him, he jumped. Mother asked him, "Are you all right?" So many times he took to avoiding her. But he couldn't just sit in the attic waiting. He paced, he visited, he chewed his fingernails. Came up with a plan. Chapter 26. Finally, a week and a half after the rally, a day dawned that was so clear and dry, Luke knew Dad would be in the fields all day. Without hope, Luke turned on the light by the back door. After 5 minutes without a response, he turned it off and quietly slipped out the back door. The cool air was a jolt. For the briefest time, he paused. This was more dangerous than ever. "But I have to know," he muttered fiercely, and crept alongside the barn before making his dash to Jen's house. He had to rip the screen and break the pane of one of the Talbots' windows, which he felt bad about. But it didn't matter. Jen was there if she could think of an excuse, but she wasn't. If she wasn't, he'd never be back to the Talbots again. Once inside, he knew he had to do something about the alarm quickly. Jen had explained to him more than once, told him the exact sequence of buttons to disable it. He ran to the hall closet, yanked open the door, and punched buttons quickly, afraid he'd forget the sequence if he hesitated even for a second. Green, blue, yellow, green, blue, orange, red. The lights blinked it out before he hit the last button, and that spooked him. Was this how it worked before? Hurry, hurry, he urged himself. The words kept replaying in his brain. Jen, he called. Jen. He went up and downstairs, looking in every room. Jen, you don't have to hide. It's me, Luke. The house was enormous, 3 floors and a basement. You couldn't search everywhere, but if Jen was there, why would you hide? Against reason, he kept hoping she was. Jen, come on, this isn't funny. He found the bedrooms, huge, elegant rooms with beautifully carved beds and long mirrored closet. He couldn't even tell which one was Jen's. Finally, he admitted defeat and rushed down to the computer room. He hurried down to the keyboard and typed in the same sequence of letters he watched Jen type so many times. His fingers were clumsy and he kept messing up. Finally, he got to the chat room password. F-E-R-E? No, erase. F-E-E-R? No. At last he got it. F-R-E-E. The screen went blank, with none of the friendly banter that had magically appeared every time he watched Jen. Had he done something wrong? Frantically, he exited and entered the chat room again, his hands still shaking. Still nothing. Timidly used his only right index finger, he typed. Where's Jen? He had to hold one hand with the other to steady his finger enough to hit the enter button. Almost instantaneously, his words vanished and reappeared on the top of the screen. He waited. Nothing. The screen stayed blank below his question. Because nothing was worse than doing nothing, he tried again. Hello? Is anyone there? Still nothing. He slammed his fist down on the computer so hard it hurt. I have to know, he shouted. I can't go home until I know. He heard the door too late to react, and suddenly a voice boomed behind him. Turn around slowly. I have a get. Who are you and why are you here? Okay, that's it for today. See you next time.